Hey guys, it is Teddlie, the one and only, and you are tuned into Jigga Radio.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another great episode of Jigga Radio. We're here with yet another guest, but before we get started, we appreciate all the black jobs that are out there in America. So shout out to you guys for having a black job. And also, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment. I did it right, y'all. Comment on everything that happens in this episode and all the other ones, too. So without further ado, guys, welcome to the stage, Mr. Teddlie, y'all. Y'all make some noise for Mr. Teddlie. All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you for allowing us to be in your space as well.
Absolutely, I'm excited to be here.
Yes, we've had a lot of guests on JSR, and I feel like you fit right in. You know, you got your champagne on deck. We're about to take the shot on camera.
Yes.
So cheers to black jobs, being black in America.
Cheers.
You guys know what we're talking about. Like I said, welcome to the show. As I do with all the guests, I ask you, tell the world about yourself. How would you describe Teddlie?
Well, there is only one Teddlie, so
Period.
I am who I am. To break it down further, I am a real estate professional, so I am all things real estate. I do everything from property management, HOA management, and license to sell. I am a web reality star as well, published author, entrepreneur, and so on. So there's nothing that I can't do by the grace of God.
There you go.
Very blessed, despite what you hear and what you see on camera.
That's right.
But, I am who I am, and that's why I'm here today.
Period. I'm here for that. So we'll get started with the child life. Let's learn about how we grew up, so that way you can paint a picture. The audience can paint a picture of who you are.
Yes.
So let's talk about your childhood. Where you from? All that good stuff.
So I am from Houston. I grew up in the suburbs of Houston, Sugarland, Missouri City area. I went to school with Travis Scott, a couple of other musicians in Houston, rappers in Houston. But further down my childhood, my parents were very hardworking. My mom was in corporate banking. My dad was an engineer, had an engineering company. My parents always taught me the value of $1.
Yes.
I started working at age 16. Although I grew up with the essential tools of being who I am today, I just knew that, being humble and being hardworking would lead me to success today. I have two brothers. I am the middle child. I would say that I am the most outgoing and outspoken one of my siblings.
Okay.
I guess I'm the favorite child. I always tell people that, growing up, my family was like the Black Kardashians.
Okay.
My mom and dad would always film everything from our family trips to precious moments between my brothers and I. Everything was always on camera. I am so thankful today, from everything that my parents gave us, the tools. And even to this day, I can call my mom or dad and rely on them for advice. And every decision that I make today is always on the back burner of what would my mom and dad do? What would they say?
Yeah.
Before I make any decision in life. So with that being said, my upbringing was great. I don't really have any hardships, I should say. However, I know what it's like to struggle though too as well. Because when you enter your adulthood, you have to have some sense of you got to have some sense of independence. And so, although I grew up with my parents there for me, they taught me that you got to be a man and stand on your own feet and pave the way for yourself. And so, I think that I was able to do that along with my brothers as well. And we all are so different, but yet we're all in different lanes in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that your parental figures recorded you growing up. Was it just you or all?
All of us, but I would say I was the one that was most active in front of the camera.
So the one that was vibrant.
Yes, I was the vibrant one.
Would you say that you're the most photogenic, cameragenic?
I'm the unicorn. Let's just say that.
Come on.
I'm the unicorn. The black unicorn with sparkles and glitz and glam. Okay.
So, at what age would you say that you like came out?
Jeez. You know what? I always do that. Let's accept to that. Well, you know what? I don't really have a coming out story because, oh God, I love my parents because they were so accepting of me, and I probably say around the age of 10, I knew I was gay. I knew I was different. But beyond that, I never got questioned. I never got disrespected from my parents. I think they have always embraced and they knew who I was amongst my other two brothers.
Yeah.
And that's what had separated me from them two.
Yeah.
And my mom supported me. My daddy supports me. Even to this day, in my dating life and my relationships, he's involved. Both of my parents are. So I don't really have a story of coming out. It was more so
Because you was out.
Always been you. Yeah. I've always been me.
You said he was a unicorn.
Yeah, I was a unicorn. And I think that my parents knew that.
Yeah.
But I also will say this. I think the fact that I grew up with grace and some sense of etiquette and class that my parents gave me is what allowed them to respect me for who I am. You know what I'm saying?
That's rich.
And I think that's so important these days in this lifestyle that some of us live. It's how you carry yourself.
Yeah.
Because there's so much judgment out there against homosexuality and being different. So I don't have a coming out story. I really don't.
Well, there it is. So since you say you don't have a coming out story, like a lot of your other friends that you have in your life, when they learn that about you, when they share their coming out story, you hear like a completely different story and their struggles and things, like how does that make you feel, and like how do you incorporate that on your day-to-day interaction with people that may not be on the side of the plus community?
Yeah.
Right. So what I'm going to add to that. So in that, how do you move with people that have a different situation coming out, or situation, perspective?
Right. I'm so glad you add that piece onto it, because I've had great relationships and friendships with people who were on the other spectrum of not having acceptance like I had with the sexuality, and some who have had the acceptance. But the difference was the ones who grew up with the struggle of not having the acceptance. I saw the inner demons in them. I saw them always fighting about their, who they are, their presence in life, them having certain insecurities, jealousies between our friendships, and that showed. Yeah. But to answer your question, I'm a positive Patty. I always tell you I'm a positive Patty.
Okay.
I'm always trying to look for the positive pieces in every situation. I'm always that friend that's always like, I got you. I'm your backbone. Yeah. Even when times when I don't know who the hell got me, I got my friends. But yeah, I have some friends who grew up without their fathers, without their moms, their parents kicking them out when they found out that they were gay. Yeah. But throughout those friendships that I have, I've always been encouraging. I've always let them know that, I'm always one phone call away, one conversation away, whatever the case is. But I always encourage my friends to be you, authentically you. Yeah. Because in this life, you only got one life to live. Right. And we don't get to do this thing called life again. Right. So at the end of the day, we have to realize that people are going to have their judgments and opinions about us, but as long as you know who you are and you're able to live life in your own way, then it will work for you in the long run. But yeah, answer your question, I have friends who still are battling with the whole thing in their sexuality, and I have friends who are totally comfortable like myself. But it's just knowing how to handle each friend differently.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and I equate that to understanding that, you meet people where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right, and being able to decipher where to go and allow where they are to decipher how you respond to them. So
Right.
that's great. So that's key.
It's real.
So you mentioned off camera.
What did I say off camera?
That you were married at one point.
Yes, I was.
No, it was on camera. You said it. It was on. Well, it wasn't rolling yet.
Yes, it was.
It was.
Oh, everything's always rolling.
Play the tape. Receipts.
Receipts.
We're editing in post.
So you were married. So look, walk us through that, because like that's a new chapter. That was a new segment of your relationship, or your journey of becoming a man.
Right.
And so like walk us through that. Like how was that experience being like whisked away and falling in love and all that? Like what for the first time? Was that the first time or no?
It's my first marriage.
Okay, so like walk us through that. Where was that mental space?
God. Well, you know what? I learned so much from that marriage. And, I wish my ex-husband well to this day. But him and I met on a friend's trip. This is during COVID.
Okay.
Him and I met on a friend's trip down in New Orleans.
Who's in New Orleans?
Yes.
Been doing it.
Yes, baby. So we went down, some friends and I was almost not going to go on this trip. But two friends of mine, they said, let's go down to New Orleans for Mardi Gras.
Okay.
I said, okay, let's go. Whatever. I was single, completely single at the time. Not worried about a man, worried about my money. That's all I was worried about.
Amen.
And we went down to New Orleans, and I met this guy. We were out at a bar, and he kept looking at me. My friends kept edging it on, kept saying, this dude looking at you over there. And I'm like, who? What dude? What's going on? And they made the connection, and long story short, I met this guy in the bar who ended up being my husband 2 years later. But we kicked it from that night on. I didn't even get to hang with my poor friends the whole trip. It turned from a friend trip to a bay trip. Okay, let me tell you, this man, when I met him, we were inseparable. That whole trip, we hung out with each other. And then when I went back home, came back home to Dallas, he was going to visit me, and it started being
He lived in New Orleans.
He lives in New Orleans. Okay. It started being a long distance situation.
Yeah.
And so then, luckily, I had an office there in the New Orleans area, so I would come into New Orleans to visit him and work in my New Orleans office, spend time with him, and then before I knew it, I found myself relocated to New Orleans.
Okay.
I said, you know what? I have an office here. My job is here too. Why not?
Yeah.
I was falling in love with this guy who charmed me, whisked me away, and I said, let's see where this goes.
Was that scary?
It was very scary, and I'm very close to my mom. So throughout those things that was going on between him and I was sharing everything with my mom. She would give me advice and say, be careful, just take it slow. But when you stubborn and you doing your own thing in life, you do your own thing.
Right.
Before I knew it, him and I was at the courthouse, the justice of peace, getting married. We said, let's go get married. We want to get married. We was in love. Because we was doing all the things that married couples do. At this point, we had got a place together. We were traveling together. We had finances together. I was like, what are we doing? And it was both our idea jointly to go get married legally. So we did that. We skipped the whole lavish ceremony and all that stuff. We just started traveling the world. We were in Dominican Republic. We were in Cancun. We was just traveling the world. This is all during COVID.
Okay.
All right. So we was just doing our thing. And we were happy for the most part. And, as every relationship has their downfalls and hardships, we had those throughout our years.
Of course, yeah.
And long story short, things were falling apart. He had some personal things going on in his life with his family that he had to tend to. And I tried to be the faithful husband, the supportive husband, and I was sapped. But throughout that, there were some changes within him emotionally that was eating him up, that spilled into our marriage.
Right.
That was starting to damage and tamper our marriage.
Yeah.
And so it was more than I could digest.
Yeah.
It was too much. It was becoming to the point where I was his counselor, his husband, his all of that, and I wasn't getting that reciprocated to me.
So you were okay with being those things. It seemed one-sided.
It was very one-sided.
Okay.
And to this day, I still respect him, although it may not be the same on his end. But I still respect him, and I wish him well. But one thing that I learned throughout that marriage was that you don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
It's okay to take your time and genuinely date somebody before the true commitment of it.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we were married for 2 years. I ended up going to file for divorce after a while. After some personal thing that he was going through that he was blatantly disrespecting me on, that was just not okay.
Okay.
Being married. And divorce got finalized. That was it. And I'm living my life now.
Yes.
Doing what I want to do for myself.
As a real estate agent, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, not just real estate agent, but I mean, I'm a mogul of a lot of things.
Oh, yes. I wanted to dive into real estate.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what got you in? Thank you, by the way, for being vulnerable and sharing that. Like, now a lot of people are able to have a place of understanding and being able to still show a respectable level of, like, a respectable manner towards the other person. So, appreciate you. Real estate. What made you get into real estate? Did you start in Houston? Start in Dallas?
Started in Houston.
Okay.
So as a kid, my mom and daddy would always, we would go to brunch on Sunday. We would go to church, brunch, and then they always had this thing of going to look at a house. They had a beautiful home growing up. We had a beautiful home growing up, but they would always go look at these new construction homes that would build, that would pop up in their neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And they would drag me along, and I'd be like, oh my God. Like, we go in these model homes, these beautiful, big, huge model homes.
Yeah.
As a kid, I would look around and be like, this is, oh my God. I would run up and down the stairs of the home. I was looking at the painting and the flooring in the houses, and I was like, oh, I love this.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it started. So I initially started back in 2014-13 when I first graduated college from the University of Houston. And I started working for a builder, Toll Brothers, who's still my favorite builder to this day, as a new home consultant.
Okay.
That's where I got my foot in the door with real estate.
Yeah.
And I was working in the design center, working in the model homes, showing those homes. And before you know it, I said, you know what, I really want to get further into real estate. And so then I went and looked into getting my license to sell. Went to Champion School of Real Estate, got my license. And to be honest with you, to this day, I haven't moved so much. But it's the matter of having those credentials to do that when it's time to sell.
Yeah, for sure.
Then outside of that, I got into HOA and property management because I heard that was where, you meet a lot of people, developers, you make a lot of connections, and that's where I am today. I manage over... Oh my God. So I have properties all throughout Dallas area, commercial and residential, Nevada, Las Vegas area, Atlanta, Houston, and newly North Carolina and Charlotte area.
Nice.
So I manage several HOAs and commercial and residential properties as well. So not only that I'm licensed to sell, but I do all those things behind the scenes as well. So I do all the operational components of real estate too. I deal with lenders, title companies, all those people.
Yes. And so when it comes to what got me is when you said when you were little, your parents made it a tradition to go scout for new properties, right? And so for me, I think that's beautiful because it set a stage for you.
It did.
It's almost as if you enjoy selling dreams to people. Because the model homes represent what this could be for you.
Aspiration for the next person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's what it sounds like. Like the reason why you enjoy it so much is because you like to meet someone where they are in their lifestyle and elevate them by putting them in a home that will honestly take them to the next level.
Yep.
So that's amazing.
And it's also providing a sense of security for people, right?
Yeah.
Especially with I'm a father, right? So it's important for me to provide a sense of security for my children. One way that I can do that is to make sure that the dwelling that they go home
to reside in,
is safe, in a safe neighborhood, and it's one of the things when I purchased my main home specifically,
Yeah.
it was like making sure
Mm-hmm.
that it's in a safe neighborhood. The schools are credible and reputable, because that's a part.
Hey,
When you buy a home,
You look at the area.
You look at the area.
Yeah.
You know, are they? What's the ratings over here? Like, what is it? Need sex offenders over here? Like, what that look like? That's important.
What's up, guys? We're back from break. We was talking about a whole bunch of stuff. I think we was on break for like 40 minutes.
I feel like we was on extended break, you know?
It was supposed to be 10 minutes. Y'all know how we are on JSR. We still have Teddlie here.
They won't know the difference.
They won't know the difference. It's gonna be, we're going to get into some juicy stuff now. I appreciate everyone for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, and comment. The reason why I rolled my eyes, there was a reason why I did that. Because production has been on my ass. We're not editing this out. Production has been on my ass about make sure you say all 4 things. And so I said all 4 things, and I've been getting so good at it, and I don't even get no props. So it's cool. I'll leave it to y'all to do it. So anyways, we're still here with Teddlie. And so we're going to talk about the entertainment realm.
Yes.
Of things. And because that is one of the other things, part of his portfolio of things that he has in his repertoire. So let's talk about how you got started in the realm of entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Well, entertainment, I will say Chasing Dallas was my start in the entertainment. Well, beyond that, I will say this. Before that, I've had many connections with reality stars, musicians, from Solange Knowles, Beyonce's sister.
Right.
When I lived in Houston, I would hang out with her. And then also like Tammy Roman, Cynthia Bailey from Housewives of Atlanta, Phaedra Parks. It was just all connections that I had through mutual friends and people that I would network with. But initially in Dallas, I started with Chasing Dallas.
Yeah.
Markel, who's a phenomenal friend and producer, he, used to reach out to me, or he reached out to me and said, you would be great for this platform. And I never took it serious.
Yeah, okay.
To a point where I initially wanted to do it. After going through my divorce and everything, I said, you know what? I feel like I have a story to tell.
There you go.
I feel like I have something to put out there to where it's tangible for others who may have went through what I went through.
Right.
So with that being said, I auditioned for season 4 of Chasing Dallas, and the rest was history. I got accepted on the show for season 4, did my thing. Then I went on to season 5, did my thing, and here I am now. So I got into the whole entertainment reality show spotlight of just being me.
Yeah.
So to say. So yeah.
So the difference between season 4 and 5, let's talk about that. So when you first started on Chasing Dallas versus now, having that first year experience or first season experience on the show, like what would you say are the major takeaways from doing a whole season?
Oh God.
And then going into the new season, like what is your takeaway?
That's juicy.
That's a very good one. So I will say this: your first season is always like you gotta come in like boom,
like freshman year.
Yeah, freshman high school. You gotta come in bringing the juice, bringing the tea. And so when I came in season 4, I was very on guard. I was very defensive. I was very okay, I gotta put on. But when I got to season 5, I was like, fuck you bitches. I have nothing to prove. I have nothing to prove to you relevant ass bitches. So as you notice the difference, if you go back and watch season 4 versus season 5 Teddlie, season 5 Teddlie is very calm, copacetic, regardless of what was being said about me. I was very calm. Now there were some moments where I checked some people's asses when they needed to be checked, but in season 4, I was really more snappy. Season 5, I was more like, I'm just riding the coast. You understand? My first season. I'm good. I know who I am. I know why I am and who I am. So, at the end of the day, season 5 showed a side of me of I'm busy, I'm booked, I don't have time to deal with the bullshit. Because you girls don't have nothing to deal with besides trying to be loving hip hop or trying to put out a banger or trying to do a bop, whatever.
Is that tea or shit?
both. But I exuded a sense of business ethic on season 5.
Okay.
And then also I tried to show a little bit more transparency of my dating life, because my dating life is always a topic of discussion. Let's be real about it. And I brought that into this platform, and I'm okay with showing that.
Yeah.
There's no shame in that.
Yeah.
So with that being said, that has always been a topic of discussion in my dating life.
So there was a maturation, you would say, from 4 to 5.
Absolutely.
Now, from 4 to 5, before you met these group of men, individuals, and you've established a connection. Let's keep going. I said, and that's why I said individuals.
Okay.
That's why I said what I said.
Okay.
You met this group of individuals, you established a connection with some.
Right.
And some of them you was like, I don't care for.
Yeah.
And so going from 4 to 5, who do you have the strongest relationship with currently?
Individuals. Jeff. Because he's so fun. And he knows how to entertain and not say nothing personal. With him being the only, the one that's not black on the cast, he handles pressure very well. Also, Robert Ray. Love Robert Ray. He's the OG. He means what he says. He's very straightforward, and I respect that about him. And then also, JC, my friend JC. Brought him on, recommend him to come onto this platform. Although some may look at him differently, but I look at him as a jewel. Because he's very calculated in a sense of business and marketing. He knows what it takes to grow business in this entertainment industry and knows what it takes to be successful. One thing my friend is going to do, he's going to market. And that's what he does. And so those 3 are who I'm really close knitted with. I let's be real. I don't have beef with anybody on the cast. I'm like the mutual, with everybody. I'm cool with everybody.
So you switch.
Yeah. Yeah, Switzerland. Okay. Like Swiss cheese, honey. But no, I don't have a beef with anybody really on the cast. But what I would say, those 3 are who I have a certain connection with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes to reality shows, we know that for a reality show to have life and air, for it to survive, there has to be a conflict. If I put that very neatly.
Conflicts, yeah.
You mentioned that in season 5, you you tap in when you need to, you kind of tap out. From a production standpoint, in your opinion, how much of a conflict is required for the show to kind of flow? How much would one say that in order for a show to actually survive, how much conflict keeps the people, I guess, entertained?
Well, I always say that the conflict resides in you. The conflict resides in what you're comfortable with exuding. So, for example, you have to be comfortable with what you put out there. There's many times when I filmed and I was like, you know what? If I'm going to show this, I have to be able to take the backlash from it.
Yeah.
So with that being said, there's no limit to what you put out. It's just you have to be able to know how to take the backlash that comes with it when you put it out there.
And you've seen many castmates struggle with that. Some do it, like you said, there's some that deal with it very easily, no sweat.
Right.
And there's some backed into a corner and now we ready to fight.
Yeah, cause you got some, I'll be real, you got some castmates who ruffle some feathers and then when they get the backlash, they don't know how to deal with it. Or they end up looking crazy for starting this premature drama that don't even make sense. Right. And they're questioning, why are you doing this? But yet they look crazy doing it because there's no validation behind it.
Right.
So.
But so when it comes to dealing with that, because you've been part of season 4 and now season 5, what? And I asked Markel the same question. What advice would you give somebody?
It's very illuminating.
What advice would you give somebody that's starting off in the realm of reality TV?
Be authentically yourself.
You said the same thing.
No matter how bad you may think it is to show something of yourself, stand 10 toes down. also be different. Like, don't try to be like the next bitch that's trying to be in the studio making the hottest single, or the next bitch that's trying to walk a ballroom scene. Do you? You know, if you want to be a damn selling damn magazines or whatever, do that.
Shit.
You do your shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, be you. Like, you have to be able to be you. And I think the fans, they love when a castmate is authentically themselves, but like relatable.
Right.
You have to be relatable. And one thing I pride myself on is Teddlie is Teddlie, but he's not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the struggles that I showed throughout my dating life, that's the real side of life. You know, I can't be perfect. I can't be perfect in every avenue of my life.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have some kind of deficiency in life.
Right.
And so, just be you at the end of the day.
So, I recently caught a clip of you that was posted to social media of you being you. You went off in that scene, and you typically don't do that type of stuff. So, walk me through what was happening in that moment.
To the things.
Oh my God.
Bruh.
You gotta remember, what scene was that? What was that exactly? Cause
So there's three of you all in the scene,
you were drinking.
I threw the glass down.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was actually talking about a dating situation that went sour with a particular person who was of age, and I thought they would know better upon their actions. But basically, I was dating someone who I thought could have been the next one.
Are you the one?
Are you the one? But potentially, I found out some crazy stuff about this person that was lying to me about. And I was kind of pretty much resurfacing that conversation with some friends of mine at my house. And the more I got to talk about the situation, the more heated I began to become. And I was like, oh my God, this dude was really trying to play. You know, you really think something over again, and you really think about, this person was trying to really play me. So that's what that was. And I got frustrated. And just, long and behold, we was having cocktails in my house, and I threw the champagne glass down because I got frustrated.
So there was a reason why I brought that up. Because oftentimes reality show, so people think reality TV is, and I mentioned this to Markel, is framed. It's staged, it's structured a certain way. We want certain drama to hit at this point.
Some of the girls out there,
They're calculated. They're very calculated.
Thanks for the show.
Yeah. Rolling.
But reality TV is the real part of the reality TV is what I saw in that moment, and that's why I brought it up because going back to the original conversation of me saying like what is required, what are like the ingredients of having reality TV? You said be authentically yourself. You were literally going through your emotions like
on camera,
real time.
Yeah.
And so that's what was captured in that moment. And in a sense, you were being vulnerable
I really
on
was.
TV.
Yeah.
And now it's across social media. And so going back to what you were saying, be authentically you, own your shit. You were literally saying like, "Hey, I did not appreciate this scenario that happened.
Yeah.
And I'm human. I'm going to show my emotion in this way." Again, it wasn't planned.
It wasn't. And I got judged. And I will say this to this day. So many people judge me and were like, "Oh, he made that up." But like, "Oh, why would I show that much emotion off of something that I made up?" You know what I mean? I have other things in life that I'm more concerned about than trying to make up something on camera.
Right.
It just touched a point in me where I was reliving that situation that infuriated me.
Right.
So that's what that was.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that.
Yeah.
So with that being said, there's other endeavors that you're doing in the entertainment realm. You want to talk about that?
Yes. So I am currently right now filming for a dating show.
Okay.
So it's a dating show based in Dallas here that myself and Dior, former castmate, we are basically the bachelors and are sourcing out love or dating. So that's coming soon. Okay. I also have some things that are mainstream that I can't really discuss, but that are on like bigger platforms and networks that is coming soon. I do have a makeup white line that is actually in production that's coming soon as well.
Okay.
So I just have a few things, and I have some things that are more in the realm of my profession in the real estate field.
Yeah.
That's being documented as well.
So let's go back to the makeup wipe situation.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the inspiration behind that, and like what you thought was like feasible, or why you wanted to bring it to the light. Like, talk about the whole thought process of bringing that to fruition.
Yes. So it's no secret that I wear makeup. I thrive in beauty and I love beauty. But when I started like doing the whole like wearing makeup and beauty, I thought about what is a natural thing to where it can be captured and I can capitalize off of. And that was makeup wipes. I mean, at the end of the day, before you go to sleep, you got to take your makeup off. You know, you got to have some kind of moisturizing regimen.
Yeah.
And so I thought about that. I was like, you know what? Put your own like makeup wipe line out, or do something to where it makes you individually yourself.
Yeah.
So I did that. I went and met with different distributors and makeup gurus and skincare gurus, and I worked with them, and I pretty much created my own like line of makeup wipes. So it's a multi-use wipe, so you can use it for just cleansing wipes. You don't even have to wear makeup. You can just use it for cleansing wipes, moisturizing in the morning, daytime, nighttime, whatever. Or if you wear makeup, use it for a makeup remover. And so that's it.
Definitely make sure that we put the link.
Yes, for sure.
We'll make sure, for sure.
For sure.
It's in the podcast, on the description.
Yeah.
For you guys to go ahead and promote, share, even share it with him when you guys are using it. Just
please do. Give me some feedback. I need feedback. Yeah.
No, that's all. That's all great. Ted, we appreciate you for coming on the show. Y'all
Thank
make
you
some
so
noise
much.
Forever. Appreciate you for coming on the show.
Thank y'all
You've been
so
such a beautiful talent.
Thank you.
You're very well rounded, and appreciate the vulnerability. Y'all know he took his glasses off.
He did. Does that mean that the girl was comfortable?
Stop. No, I'm very comfortable. You know, I respect what you guys do at the end of the day, and I had to show you guys love because I love it. I love what you guys do.
We really do. You shouldn't leave it in my ear.
Why is your headphones up so loud? Because you talk so low.
Who said that?
Not the intern again.
Oh my.
Again. But as I'm gathering myself. So we really do appreciate you coming on, right? That initially, what I can say from the very first conversation that I had with you, getting you to come on the show, it was very much so love. And I can't say that you don't know who it was, but I can only presume that you did know who we were. And it was all love, and since has been. And the communication, and I told you this a couple days ago, I wish we had more as far as communication was concerned. Because before I could confirm, you was already confirmed.
Because I run a tight shift schedule, so I'm like, look, what time we doing this? What's going on?
Me too, because I wasn't even in Dallas, and I came in.
I know that's right.
You came in specifically, but just to, I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We definitely appreciate it.
Absolutely.
1,000%. And can we get part 2?
For sure.
Okay.
Part 2 and maybe part 3.
Come
on now.
Where you at, Markel?
You know, it would be a crazy situation we have them both on here.
Ooh, that'd be a show, honey.
Put that in the universe. Markel, what you say about that, girl? What?
What about the unicorns?
There's only be one. That's me with sparkles.
Girl, y'all can fight that out in the
How can they find you?
Yes, so you can find me on IG, Instagram at Teddlie. There's only one Teddlie, so Teddlie. I am on TikTok, same name. So yeah, You find me there, and then also look out for some other things going on with myself on my social media.
Mm-hmm. Well, y'all make some noise for Teddlie, y'all. He was just so happy. Y'all bring this to the show. We're going to have some more amazing guests from the cast this season. So just you stay tuned to that. But until next time, catch you later, Jiggas.